So Dragon Ball Z Kakarot has been out for a bit now, and I've gotta say I'm having a really good time. Like, I understand it has its problems, it definitely has a whole bunch of flaws. However, regardless of all those issues, I'm still loving the game a lot. However, now that DBZ Kakarot is out, what's next? I'll tell you. DLC. Let's talk. What's going on, fam? It's your boy, the Black Mastadonte. So in my last video, I briefly talked about all the DLC possibilities that can come up in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Specifically the Dragon Ball Super DLC, a possible Dragon Ball GT DLC, and also a Dragon Ball DLC. However, to flesh out those ideas, today I want to give you my top 5 picks for what I think would be great ideas for DLC. Number 1, and this one comes from Afro Senju, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, but you play as the villains. Now, the one thing that I really love about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is the fact that you can run around traveling the world as these characters, and you can see how the world changes, and you can see the world through all these characters' perspectives. Now, what if you could do this for the villains, and you could learn more about the villains and their storylines from playing these DLC missions? So maybe during the Namekian saga, you could run around as Frieza and actually control the Frieza Force and actually go out and kill these Namekians. Wow. That wouldn't be fun. That would be terrible. Or maybe in the Android saga, you play as the androids, or you play as Cell and you slowly build yourself up to Perfect Cell, and you have to start from Imperfect Cell, and you're like, damn, I hate this because Imperfect Cell is trash. But then as you start to level up and start growing your character, you're like, oh, okay, you know what? Perfect Cell's type fire. This is lit. Like, I still think the villains should lose in their respective battles. Like, I'm not asking for a what if scenario of, oh, what if the villains beat the main characters? Like, no, I'm not asking for that. I just want them to follow a story where you get to see all these events through the villain's perspective, just because it would be really interesting. Like, I would play that shit. Just give me the boss fights and give me a little bit of adventuring with these villains and I'll be happy. Number 2, and this one kind of falls in line with my Dragon Ball Super DLC. I want DLC for all the movies that happen in that trilogy. The trilogy from Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods to Broly. I want DLC having to do with all those movies, but specifically Broly. This is why. If they make a Dragon Ball Super Broly DLC, right? I feel like you should be able to play as Kid Broly and train as Kid Broly in Vampa. Wouldn't it be dope if you started the whole DLC as the quote-unquote antagonist and you trained yourself up and you slowly start to see how Broly grew into this beast, and like you see how terrible of a father Paragus was, and you start seeing the world through Broly's perspective, and you're like, damn son, this kid was just an innocent dude who just wanted to live his life. He was just cursed with having a lot of power. And then when you get to the Gogeta fight, you get to use Gogeta, and then you kind of beat on Broly, and you're like, damn, I'm beating on the character I trained for so long, and now I feel kind of bad. So it makes you look at Broly differently. Once again, going back to the whole things that I brought up with the whole villains DLC, seeing the world of Dragon Ball Z through a different perspective, through a different character's eyes. And then going back to the other movies, what if in the Battle of the Gods DLC, you played as Beerus for some time? Or in the Resurrection of F DLC, you played as Frieza as he's training to get Golden Frieza. Like, you can't have the full Dragon Ball Z experience if you're not gonna let me play as certain other characters, because like, I need to see it through these characters' eyes. I just want to. I wanna know what Beerus was thinking, and I wanna know what Frieza was thinking when he was training, and I wanna know what Broly was thinking when he was training in Vampa and shit. Like, I wanna know all these things. Give me the full Dragon Ball Z experience. Don't just say you're gonna do it and then don't do it. Give it to me, Bandai. I'm waiting. Number 3. Okay, so there are these set of manga that were not created by Akira Toriyama. They're non-canon, obviously, and they follow what-if scenarios within the Dragon Ball Z universe. What if Dragon Ball Z Kakarot got a hold of some of these manga, right? And they made DLC covering the what-if scenarios from the manga. Like, for example, there's this what-if manga of like, what if Vegeta was the main character of Dragon Ball, right? Where instead of Goku flying down to Earth, it was Vegeta who flew down to Earth. And then because Vegeta's like an elite soldier or whatever, he's super strong. So all the people that gave Goku an issue, they didn't really give Vegeta an issue. And Vegeta was just out here like with Bulma fighting and shit. Like, what if they had a DLC covering that? That would be fire, bro. And then they had another one where a kid who read the Dragon Ball Z manga got transported to the world of Dragon Ball Z, but was transported into the body of Yamcha. But because he knew how Dragon Ball Z worked, he made Yamcha broken. What if they made a fucking DLC off of that? That would be fire too. Like, I get it, it's super far-fetched because then you have to contact the mangakas who did this shit, and then you have to ask them if it's okay to use their story and all that shit. Like, I get it, it's difficult. However, I still think it would be fire. I would definitely play that shit. I want to, like now that I think about it. I fucked myself up because now I really want to play that, and I'm mad I said it, and damn, that would be a dope ass DLC. Just random ass what if scenarios covering random ass characters. Like, that would be fun. Maybe it doesn't have to be from different manga that were made by different artists. Maybe it could just be from Akira Toriyama's mind. I would be cool with that. Let me know how you guys feel about that in the comments below. 4, and this one's obvious, a Dragon Ball DLC, bro. You cannot call Dragon Ball Z Kakarot the definitive Dragon Ball Z story if you're not gonna give me the story of Goku as a kid. You gotta give me the story of Dragon Ball, bro. I said this in my last video, and I've been preaching it since Dragon Ball Z Kakarot got announced. You got to give us the story of Goku learning the Kamehameha Wave, training with Master Roshi, fighting Jackie Chun, fighting King Piccolo. Like, I wanna do all that in game. That would be fire. Why? Because no one has really done it before. Yes, there's Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure and a few other games that cover a little bit of the Dragon Ball story, but I want the full version. I want to cover the Dragon Ball story from front to back without leaving anything out. Bandai, you give me that and I will not ask for anything else from you guys. Like, if you give me that shit, if you give me this game that has the whole Dragon Ball story, I'll be a happy camper. You don't have to worry about me asking you guys about anything. Like, you guys are good on me. And it'll be a lot different traveling the world because remember, Goku couldn't fly back then, so he just had his Nimbus. And now that I think about it, going back to my whole what if Vegeta was a main character of Dragon Ball DLC, seeing Vegeta flying on the flying Nimbus or playing as Vegeta as you're flying on the flying Nimbus would like, I need that. I never knew I wanted something so much until like just now. Like, I need to play with Vegeta on the flying Nimbus. Actually, you know what? After this video, I'm gonna play Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and see if I can do that because that would be fire. And the last DLC that I think would be fire, a DLC covering the history of Vegeta. Now, just follow me when I say this. This is not about me being a diehard Vegeta fan, while I am, and partially the reason why I want this is because of that. It would be dope because if you have the DLC for Dragon Ball Super Broly, right? You would play through that DLC. And then you have the DLC for Dragon Ball playing through the story of Goku back when he was younger. So you have DLC covering the story of Goku and DLC covering the story of young Broly. I feel like it only makes sense to have DLC covering the story of young Vegeta. If you're gonna have DLC covering the story of these two Saiyans, have the third one come in. You can watch his life traveling through all these planets, growing up as a savage Saiyan, Nappa training him and all this shit. You can see how he creates Gallic Gun. There is so much things about Vegeta that we can learn if they just kind of gave us an arc that was just about Vegeta growing up. I think finding out more about Vegeta would be cool. Just like all these other DLC, because the point of all this DLC is to find out more about the Dragon Ball Z world, because there are some things that we don't know about the Dragon Ball Z world, and that's what this game should do, because it's already been doing that so far by giving us launch. It's launch, bro. It's fucking launch. And showing us all these other side characters from Dragon Ball and shit. Just give us more new information by still telling the same story. Just tell it from another character's perspective. Oh, you wanna know what Vegeta was doing back when Goku was on Earth training in Dragon Ball? Cool, here's some DLC, have fun with that. As someone who really loves just learning more about the lore of this manga that I love, like, that would be the best way to make me happy. Those DLC would make me happy. If they make that shit, I would be a very happy gamer. Let me know what you think about my DLC ideas in the comments below. Also, honorary mention, I also wanted to have the original Bardock movie done as DLC because I know that in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie DLC, they're gonna have the Bardock DLC in there, but it's gonna be like the Dragon Ball Zero story, not the original one that we got back in the Bardock father of Goku movie. So I would have the original Bardock story as DLC so that you could play both as the original Bardock and as this new Bardock who's not as much of a badass. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that, and Slate. What up, fam? Thank you guys so much for watching this new video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, comment what else you want to see me talk about in future episodes of Let's Talk, and if you want to see my face some more, hit the subscribe button. And also hit the bell notification button so you get updated on whenever I upload new videos, because if you do not, you will never know. And then I'll be mad, you'll be mad, and we'll all be mad, and it's not going to be fun for anybody. All right, I promise, I have one more Dragon Ball Z Kakarot video that I want to get out, and then I am focusing on Infamous Second Son. I promise, okay? So with that being said, be easy, stay lit, and take care.